Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. All right, we got to talk about this Raw show here, which is, we're now 3 weeks out from WrestleMania, and we're getting more matches added to the show. And we'll go over the card after we get through Raw here, as well as the lineup for NXT and AEW. But John Cena and Cody opened up the show and had a much better promo segment.
It was awesome. It was very inside, but I thought it was super effective. They needed it. They needed something after last week, and they basically went in there and they made it personal rather than "I hate all you fans," which was really not cutting it at all. So I mean, they reversed the direction and I think made it work.
Well, Cena comes out immediately. Actually, I mean, this was one of those shows. It was London again, so we had 5 minutes for John Cena to get to the ring, and then 5 minutes for Cody to get to the ring, plus all the time for people to sing his name.
Yeah. They didn't start talking until the 9-minute mark, and by the time they were done, it was 25 minutes in.
Yes.
And the first match went into the ring at the 34-minute mark of the show.
So Cena says, "Listen, he goes to speak, but Cody says, no, we've heard you talk for 2 weeks. It's my turn. And I know there's a lot of stuff that you want to make fun of me for. Stardust. You want to bring up that I have an arm tattoo on my neck. I got booed in a company I created." He said, "You've been lying to the audience for the last 2 weeks. I know you cared about these fans. Why don't you tell them really why you did this?" And Cena says, "I'm not going to reduce myself and punch to your level to protect you. You've been protected enough. I'm not just going to cook you. I'm going to bury you. The fans always said I buried talent, but I didn't. I buried mediocrity." He says, "You've rode the coattails of my success. You're nothing more than my chauffeur. You disgust me. We rode the roads together. You sat by my side for years and stole every single one of my secrets. But I always told you that you needed to be authentic. And you didn't listen, and it shows. You're too perfect. You're too polished. You're too rehearsed. You're relying on these lazy gimmicks to get by. Without your music and entrance, you got nothing. I could walk out here in silence, and I'd body you before you took your first breath." He said, "I've worked too hard to make that title meaningful, to have some Nepo baby paraded around. A guy who was so into himself, he had his gimmick tattooed on him for the world to see. After WrestleMania, you can buy a toy belt at Fanatics, because the last real champion has taken that belt home forever. And that's why," he says. So then Cody cuts a promo, and he says, "I was chosen by the fans. Did the fans choose you? No. It was one guy in an office who chose you, who isn't here anymore, and we don't talk about him." The crowd popped big for that one.
They popped big for that one, yeah.
He says, "I'm Cody Rhodes. I'm a wrestler like my father. Everyone's terrified of you on the mic, but I'm not. You threw me a softball saying you created all of this and me. You created disenfranchised fans who made it easy for me to pack up and go somewhere else, say, look at me. And while we're at it, there's two of us standing in the ring, and one of us sold out to The Rock." He says, "You're still my hero, but you're also a piece of shit." The fans chant "piece of shit." So Cena says, "I worked 100 times harder than you. Nobody's been worthy to put me in the ground. I decided I'd do it myself. You had to leave because you realized at your best you couldn't wipe my ass. I build empires for billionaires. All you've ever done is steal money from their kids. And I'll see you at WrestleMania, champ." So Cody says, "Well, let me remind you, one last thing. All the time I've been here, never once has an audience chanted at me, 'You can't wrestle.'" So Cena looks around, he gets pissed off, and he gets in the ring, and he squares off, and then he smiles and goes to leave. But then he tries a cheap shot. Cody grabs him, lays him out with the crossroads. Cena sold it like he was dead, and Cody walked around with the title, celebrated. And we still got a few weeks left, but...
So Cena's going to have to lay him out one of these weeks now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a good segment, real good segment. Actually, I thought the Gunther segment was good as well.
The Gunther was an awesome heavy heat segment.
Yeah, the Gunther segment was good.
As far as like a physical angle, that one was awesome.
Yeah.
This was a great promo segment.
Aside from that, I wasn't too enamored with the show, but I thought the Gunther thing was real heat. And, the Bianca Belair and Io Sky and Rhea Ripley thing was kind of almost exactly what you have expected it to be?
It was. You can see exactly where they're going, but it was also, it just felt like a total overbooked way to get there. Like, we got it. It's going to be a three-way. I mean, we need multiple ref bumps and throwing out the match, and it just felt like a lot. If you love this show, you should consider signing up at WrestlingObserver.com. WrestlingObserver.com has every show that we have ever done, over 15,000 podcasts in the archives, dating back to 2005. Searchable by show, searchable by year. Perhaps the first show you ever watched was 2008 WrestleMania? Well, you can head into the archives and you can find the podcast we did, all built around the 2008 WrestleMania. Every major show, whether it be WWE, AEW, we covered it all. 15,000 archived shows at WrestlingObserver.com. Also, when you subscribe, you get full access to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. There's a new Observer every Friday. And on top of that, we have thousands and thousands of archived issues of the Observer dating back to 1991. So again, WrestleMania 2008. Go to the archives, search WrestleMania 2008, read all of the issues surrounding that show. Of course, Wrestling Observer newsletter, 40,000 words of news and information on pro wrestling and mixed martial arts every single week. New issue comes out every Friday. New back issue comes out every Monday. You also get the discussion board. One of the best discussion boards on the internet. It's members only. If you're going to troll, well, you got to pay to troll, and there aren't too many of those. And if you cause too much trouble, you're out of there. So if you want a great place to discuss professional wrestling, it is the board. Also available as a subscriber at WrestlingObserver.com. The whole package, all of the new shows, all of the archived shows, all of the new issues of The Observer, all of the archived editions of the newsletter, all of the past episodes of Wrestling Observer Radio, Wrestling Observer Live, The Brian and Vinny Show, Figure Four Daily, Filthy Four Daily, The Board, all of it, just $14.99 per month. The full shebang, and you can save a lot of money getting an annual subscription. A full year, you basically get 2 months free. So check it out, WrestlingObserver.com, everything you'll ever need as a fan of professional wrestling. Check it out today, F4WOnline.com.